Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drop and Give Me 20 with Phil Rizdon. I am Phil Rizdon. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, all that stuff. If you're listening to it as a podcast, please give me a 5-star review. Tell me what you're thinking, man. I need to know. I need to get a little bit of feedback. I need to make this show better for you guys. Oh, how are you guys doing? It is a good day. It is around 12:41 p.m. on a Monday. That's right. I'm recording this, and I'm going to put it up immediately. This is going to be very fun. It's 12:45 p.m. Life is good. How are you guys doing? Are you guys, holding off the Delta variant? How's that going? You guys keeping your defenses up, man? This shit is crazy out here. This Delta variant shit. A couple of my friends have gotten COVID again. It's all the ones who aren't vaccinated, but still, it hurts, Everybody's getting this shit. This Delta variant, man, that thing's a fucking southpaw, bro. It's catching everybody. It's catching everybody with their guard down. You got to keep your hands up. You got to keep your hands up around this fucking Delta variant, man. I'm telling you, I feel like this Delta variant is like Pusha T when he was going against Drake, and the vaccine and us, we're Drake. It's like, don't talk shit. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Be calm. You know what I mean? Just let it. Don't even mention it. Because once you put it out into air, you give it life. Don't even mention the Delta variant. Then you won't have any problems. But we all start talking all this shit. We all start going out to these bars. We all start kissing each other on the face, sharing blunts again. Next thing you know, this thing comes back around. It's fucking crazy. I can't believe it. Well, I'm vaccinated, though, so I'm fine. I just love how all the third eye, Hotep, type dudes and all the fucking like white conspiracy theorist guys. I'm glad when I see they have a nice little phlegmy cough. So like, that's what you get. Like with black people, I can understand. All right. Tuskegee was a thing, and that was fucking real. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If I want my black friends to take this goddamn vaccine, I'm like, I don't care. Find 3 white people who haven't taken it, and you guys all take it directly in front of each other so you can feel like there's an even playing field. Maybe you can do that. Maybe that's how we get black people to take the vaccine they have to, in order for a black person to take the vaccine, they need a white chaperone to get the vaccine first. Almost like a taste tester that like dictators have to know if everything's good, I think that's a great idea, actually. I think that's a really, really good idea. But yeah, it's like, I can understand if black people don't want to get it, but white people, come on, man. No one's ever been secretly testing on you, You're just being an asshole at this point. Just go for it. Who gives a shit? It's gotten to the point where de Blasio out here is actually setting up a mandate where all workers, like I think like kind of like blue collar workers, you know what I mean, have to get vaccinated by September 13th, I believe, or they can't work in the workforce, which is crazy. But I'm like, you gotta expect it, man, because we need the herd immunity, which I think it's corny. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we need herd immunity, man, and like. De Blasio, he's a nerd. He's the type of guy where it's like you have to follow the rules, and if you're not following the rules, he's gonna make it. He's such a fucking nerd. Just look at the guy. Doesn't he look like the type of guy who like he used to remind the teacher to collect homework in high school? He's not fun. He's a nerd. Like anytime he like won class presidency or like class government, they didn't want him in the group. Most of them just did it so they could be cool and have little perks. He's doing it so like they can collect the right amount of trash. It's like all this stupid shit, and he's a nerd. He's not fun. God, I would have fucking hated to be in any extracurricular activity with that man. Just like it's such a fucking bore. Just a 7-foot tall bore of a human being. Jesus Christ, man. Although he is cool, though. His daughter's pretty cool. And I will say this on air, I'm about 85 to 90% sure I smoked a blunt with his daughter. So that is nice. Yeah, I've never told that story. I smoked a blunt with his daughter like literally the first day I moved to New York City. How crazy is that? I moved to New York City. People don't know this. One of the main reasons I moved to New York City was simply because weed was decriminalized here. Okay, and a lot of people still, even people in New York City, didn't know that weed was decriminalized here because cops would still give you shit. But technically, you couldn't get arrested, like for a a dime bag of weed. Like you might be able to get arrested and they hold you for the night, but they can't like put you away for that. At least not legally. If you had a actual lawyer, you could fight it and stuff like that there or here. Whereas in New Jersey, where I'm from, you get caught with a small amount of weed and you're just fucked. They could give you whatever sentence because like a small amount of weed and a big amount of weed is the same thing. It's just weed. At least that's how it was, 10, 12 years ago. But now, weed's totally legal in New Jersey and New York, which is fucking insane. But back then, that was one of the main reasons why I moved to New York City. And I was in Prospect Park kind of celebrating. I'm like, oh, I'm an independent kid. I was 18 years old. It's crazy. I was like, oh, I'm an independent kid. This is the first time I'm ever just off on my own. I can smoke weed when I want. I can drink when I want. I can do whatever the fuck I really want to. You ever have that where it just like really sets in the first time you're by yourself? Not even just in dorms. Because I know people who are in dorms and stuff. And, I'm sure that's another level of independence too. But I think there's a difference between being in like a dorm hall and like really truly having your own apartment. Like I can just live in filth. Like I have no RA. Like any choice I make completely is mine and nobody has to know about it because I just have my own home now. Nobody knows my life, So fucking crazy. It's just such a great amount of freedom. But I decided to smoke a blunt and go over to Prospect Park, which is a huge park in New York City. It's basically the central park of Brooklyn. So I go out to Prospect Park with my blunt. I'm walking around. I'm not even smoking it yet. I get to this place that's almost like a mountain. It's kind of like the highest point of Prospect Park. You get this really beautiful view, and it's really nice. And I go up there, and I sit down on a rock, and I'm just at peace, staring out at the huge view. I just fucking spark this blunt. I'm listening to like rap music or some shit, just chilling. And these two really cute girls tap me on the shoulder, and they're like, hey. And I'm just like, hey, what's up? And they're like, do you mind if we get a hit? Whatever. And it's just like these two girls, one's black, one's white or whatever. And we're just like smoking. We hang out, da-da-da. We're hanging out. They're like, yo, thank you, bro. You saved us. Like, you're the shit, everything, blah, blah, blah. And we're talking. And she's like, yo, my dad is pretty much the mayor of Brooklyn. Like, I don't know how we got onto the topic, but I think I was just telling them where I was from and all that stuff. And, oh, it's my first day here and everything. And I'm like, do you guys live in Brooklyn? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And she's like, yeah, my dad's pretty much like the mayor of Brooklyn. He's like the deputy mayor of like New York or something like that. And pretty soon he's fixing to be like the actual mayor of New York. And I was like, oh, cool. But I kind of thought it was bullshit. I'm like, whatever, because I wasn't used to. Here's the thing. If you're a small town person and you go to places like New York or any big city, I'm sure Miami, all that stuff, like when people, you learn there's a certain type of way that like rich people or like well-to-do people talk and how they talk about themselves. They're very, very like nonchalant, but when they drop things, they kind of make these like eyes, at their friends and shit. Almost like it's a joke, like where it's like, oh yeah, like, oh, do you live in Brooklyn? Like, yeah, I live in Brooklyn. I live with my dad. He's a pretty cool guy. And then they'll give their like friend like a look like they have no idea that my dad is Denzel Washington or something like that. Like that's the kind of energy that they were giving off. And anybody who's lived in like New York City or like LA, they know exactly what I'm talking about. This person where it's like you'll just be talking to a stranger and they have this face on like you don't even know that I'm actually the shit. And I'm just like low key cool, And that's the energy she was giving off. And they were kind of like laughing where she was like, yeah, my dad's pretty much like the mayor and everything. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Because I'm this new country bumpkin kind of kid. So I'm just like, bullshit. She's not real. Like everybody where I'm from, if they say they're worth something, they're a fucking liar. So I'm like, whatever, and smoked a blunt with her. I was actually kind of trying to smash, I didn't get her number though. Cause I'll be honest with you, I was 18. All right. I was out of my league. It was two girls. I didn't know how to handle it, but they were obvious. They're cute. They're fun, but didn't get her number. Years pass. All of a sudden I'm at a bar and I'm looking at Mayor de Blasio doing some speech, and he's standing next to his wife and like his two kids, and I see the same girl I smoked a blunt with, but like in like a nice like floral dress and shit. Still has gauges in her ears. And I was like, oh my god, dude! I swear to God, I almost dropped my beer. I was like, she's true. She's right. She's right. She wasn't lying. Fucking insane. Fucking insane. So yeah, dude. That's just remember to be kind with your weed, because you never know. You can end up smoking with somebody who's special. You know. I'm Phil Rizdon, and that's One to Grow On. Just so you guys know, this isn't beer or alcohol. This is actually iced coffee. Yeah, I'm going to say this. This isn't actually an official ad or plug or anything. But if you guys didn't already know this, Starbucks has their own brand of cold brew concentrate. So you can basically buy a carton of this thing. You pour about 4 ounces of cold brew concentrate over ice, and then you just add water on top of it, and it's regular fucking cold brew. It's fucking amazing. Tastes amazing. It's $12. There's about 12 cups of coffee in the fucking thing. So it's literally like $1 a cup. It's fucking amazing. Go get it. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you, because this shit is fucking lit as fuck. It's amazing. I've been enjoying that. Fucking what else is happening? The trials of the people who are storming the Capitol are just starting up, which is very, very nice. I'm excited for that. Supposedly, Nancy Pelosi just appointed some new like GOP guys. Even when the minority leader, presented certain GOP guys, she smacked that shit down. She didn't give a fuck. It's just like, nah, we choosing. I'm just gonna go and choose somebody myself, which I like. You know, I fuck with Nancy Pelosi. I hate her, but I also fuck with her. She has real like Diddy in Making the Band energy. You know. Like I feel like if you turn on those trials, you're gonna see her come in riding on top of a black dude with dreads, just like giddy up. Like she is in charge of this shit. Does not give a fuck. You know, I gotta love it. I've been watching more and more of the news and like all these like little things and all these small trials, and it's just funny. I've noticed that 90% of the news or 90% of government is just old people yelling at other people. It's just old people yelling at young people, old people yelling at other old people, or old people yelling at middle-aged people, and that's really just it. And they're usually just going, "Hey, so on December 13th, no, you did, no, and then the person's just like, "I don't recall," and they're just like, "Why did you do that?" Like the government is just it's just a bunch of old people still almost acting as parents. They're like they're the United States mom and dad essentially, and every time they have some weird trial or something, that's just them scolding one of us. It's kind of interesting, I can't wait to see some of these trials. Of all these people storming the Capitol. I fucking love it. I think it's hysterical. It's just like that whole day, January 6th, Jesus Christ, and they stormed the Capitol. That was just douchebag Woodstock. Like sure, there are a couple people who stormed, but the rest were just, playing in the mud and, throwing shit around. It was just weird, man. I can't believe that many people snuck into that place. I can't wait to see these trials, because I'm telling you there's an 80% chance that at least one or two of those people are going to try to be legally represented by Chuck Norris. And I cannot wait for that day. Some dude just in his cell clinking a fucking one of those fucking metal mugs along the bars. He's like, "Where's Walker? Where's Walker? Get him here. He'll set it right. Where's Walker?" Oh my God, I can't wait for it. So ridiculous. I can't believe that many white people were treated that kindly for that crazy of a crime. So I at least want to watch the circus of what's going to be going on now that they might have to pay for some of it. Crazy, right? Just be happy you weren't shot on the scene. Yeah, crazy. On local news, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a little bit of traffic out on the BQE, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, because of a nice pepper spill. Some dude fucking had a car accident. His whole entire fucking truck flipped over. The top of the truck came off, and peppers went everywhere. So if you're wondering whether or not you should ever smoke weed while having your CDL, don't. Yeah, commercial driving and smoking weed do not mix. You can tell that dude is high. Come on, man. He probably thought he was just like, it's just a fucking pepper truck. I can drive this. Next thing you know, he's getting a little freaked out. He's getting hypnotized by the lines. He swerves a little bit. Now peppers are all over the street and people can't get to work on time. That shit's fucked up, man. Although that's something I would do. That could be a nice segment that I can do on this show. Just different mistakes people have made at their jobs that I would totally make. We can call it empathy mistakes with Phil Rizdon. Who knows, man? God. What else has been happening in my house? Talking about being high. I was so fucking high last night, man. I did my show last night, Hot Damn, at Bushwick Public House, which is no longer a weekly show. It is now a monthly show, the last Sunday of every month, everybody. Very, very fun, good times. And we had a good friend of mine, Baked with Lori, stop by the old show. If you don't know her, she basically makes a lot of edible treats and stuff and was giving them away. And she's a very, very charitable person. She's really nice. So she hooked me up with a bunch of edibles. And I was basically losing my mind. You ever get so high on edibles so you can like literally hear your blood pump through your body? That's where I was at. I was at like Daredevil level versions of sonar. Like I could close my eyes and see images based on the sounds I was hearing. That's how fucking baked I was. It was fucking nice, man. I also hung out and learned a lot of things. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. I heard that guy, he's reached like 1 million subscribers, which is amazing. I'm not really into the whole like manosphere type shit, but my boy Moxie Approved, who I actually interviewed on my Learning Things podcast, Learning Things with Kyle and Phil. Please like, share, subscribe. Him on that. Since I talked to him on that, he's been telling me more about the whole Kevin Samuels thing, and it's been great. Anybody who can stick with this shit and have that many subs, man, more power to them. I think that's amazing, and it's just inspiring, man, seeing people really put together this YouTube shit and really like build careers for themselves, man, and like gain like a fan base and like people who actually truly understand them. I'm starting to realize that right now, like what it means to really connect with people on here and like how cool and how much of a gift that actually truly is. And I think it's really amazing, man. I think it's really amazing. So shout out to him, Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Moxie Approved. Make sure to like and subscribe on his page, man. He has a lot of interesting stuff there. He does a lot of manosphere stuff, which I'm not really personally into, but he has a lot of like great life advice on there as well, like a lot of LLC stuff, how to make an LLC, a lot of self-help stuff. Look into it. He's a very, very intelligent dude, really funny comedian as well, and he's just a great guy, so I fucking love him. And that being said, I think I'm going to have to end this podcast pretty soon. I got to end it in about a minute or two because I went outside before this podcast and there is a fucking ungodly smell in my kitchen. I swear to God, I don't know what it is. Either the trash needs to be taken out, the dishes need to be done. There is it's putrid. It's putrid. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, it's a terrible smell, but I have to just get used to it. Cause like I live in a dude house, which is it's terrible. I live in a dude house, man. It is just like, just people just leave shit around and it just sits, it's one of those where it's just like every man's living in a dude house at least one point in his life, and every woman has been into a dude house more than one point in their life. It's usually only for one night, because she doesn't want to stay there more than once. But still, every woman has experienced a dude house, and every man has lived in a dude house, and it's not fun. Dude house with mysterious smells. That shit is fucking terrible. So I got to get to the bottom of that, like I'm some sort of gross Sherlock Holmes. It's like, listen, I understand we're a bunch of guys, but that doesn't give us the excuse to live in a fucking pigsty. Okay. I say that, but there's also an 80% chance that that smell is my responsibility. So that's another thing with Dude House. You can blame your problems on everybody because we're all doing the same bad stuff. Great job. And with that being said, guys, I want to say thank you for everybody for listening to Drop and Give Me 20 with Phil Rizdon. I am Phil Rizdon. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. I had a good time on this podcast. Please remember to leave a 5-star review, leave some feedback, tell me some things about yourselves. I want to help you out. Help me help you. Help me help you. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.